I should be live, right? Yes, there we are. Let's hope that people come in. Project is just opening up. It seems to be okay. Let's hope that it doesn't crash this time, because I tried opening it up before stream and then everything went wrong and it crashed. If this project doesn't work, we might try to just do a different project. Doesn't really matter that much. Looking down here, this indicates the tracks that are opening up, the tracks that are loading. So it needs some time to load it, but it should be okay. Still looks like it's doing stuff. If this stuff stays animated, that means that it's not having any issues with like loading and stuff. Just configure my lights properly. Should be okay. There we are. There's a bit of noise in here. Wonder where that's coming from. It's coming from the leads. Do you hear the noise that we are having? I'm just going to try to isolate that noise. Seems to be this track here. Okay. It's just a bit annoying. It's not a big problem. Did I turn everything back on here? No. It's not a big problem, that noise, but it's just annoying when I'm like talking and stuff. Nice to see more people coming in. I decided to schedule the stream. So you guys had a notice beforehand of when the stream would start. Also, I got a new camera. So this is actually not the camera that I usually have. This is a webcam that I got, and I can use that for streaming now. As you might know, I had camera problems with my old big camera and the Camlink. I haven't been able to resolve that. I've tried it on my laptop and there everything works fine. So it's a computer issue, probably like a driver issue or something. Some things might be incompatible. So I just decided to get a small webcam, the cheapest one I could find, which was nice quality. And now I have a webcam that I can use for streaming. So this is the project. I'm just going to play it through, have a listen, and I might write down some more notes. Let's try a new track, because I don't know what this is. I think those are old notes that I never really deleted. So make a notes 3 track. This is kind of what happens when I have a project that I've spent a long time working on. So this is a project I started a very long time ago. So there is some stuff that I decided to change and stuff like that. And then when I do that, I tend to re-listen to it when I come back to it, like after a long time. And that's kind of where all of the notes come from. So let's have a listen to what we want. Camera looks fine. Nice. I don't mind me. I can turn it down if it's too loud. Just let me know if like the volume is okay. Chuck Blaine, how are you doing? Chuck Blaine. That I might want to change. Blockchain in reverse, nice. All of the question mark stuff is like all ideas that I'm not entirely certain on if I want to.
You may be having these spiritual
add
awakenings.
those. This break really needs some work. And then obviously from here we can also continue to write further sections. It might be a good idea to kind of sketch out the structure. I always like to work with the structure track completed, basically. So we'll do that. This is a shorter fill. We just make the MIDI clips a bit like this. Follow the structure. A structure track is really useful for being able to see at a glance how your track flows. and if the structure makes sense. And just for writing it out, it's a lot more useful than just looking at the individual elements, basically. Base click is a bit too much in the intro. It's okay, I think, when it's in the full mix. Too sudden, but that's a very cool track. Thank you. I'll take that into account. Yeah, on the intro we can have a listen. It didn't really bother me there. Maybe now that you point it out, it might be. Might be more the kick. I do like the reverb trick that I did here, but the kick might be too much. Can write that down. Too much high click. I'll just quickly finish off this structure here, and then we can get into some actual work. It's not the most fun thing to watch, watching me like work with this structure track, I know. But it's the break. This is kind of like a build up. It's not really going to build up, but more like a pre-drop. So it's nice to write those things down. Then from here, just looking at the time, we still need quite a lot of track actually. The break comes pretty early in here, and that's because the part between the first and the second drop is very short, as well as the intro being fairly short for this kind of a track. So in terms of the drop, what we could do is have another like 2-tier drop, but with the same baseline. So I would probably do, now I can just like copy over structure elements and build out a track like this. Have another little build there, and then have another 2 sections of drop, and then the outro, which I usually do in like blue, dark blue, something like this, and then the fade out where all of the elements kind of fade out. Let's see, we get close to 8 minutes. That's okay in terms of structure, I would say. Which basically leaves us with 4 small drops, one from 4, one from 2.5, one from 3, and then one from 2 plus an outro, which is okay in terms of structure, I think. So I'm probably going to spend first going through these notes. So only the notes 3 track is important, and I just kind of go through them, listen to them, see if this, for these one with the question mark, if that's really my opinion, or if that was just something that I noticed in the moment but isn't really a problem. I might, for the bass, quickly mute my microphone and listen to it on speakers, because that's generally better for making decisions on that front. I would need to arrange my speakers a little bit better. Sometimes I move them around a bit. But yeah, let's have just a listen to the kick. It's a bit strange. This kick has just 1 track. I wonder why I made that into a group. Guess I can take all of this and throw it on here. Those effects aren't really doing anything, so this can be removed. And by setting this to -11, we can basically ungroup this, and we'll have the same setup but without the group, and that's just a lot cleaner for the project. Thinking of doing like a little let's record that and see what we get. If I just solo this and record that, I want to see what the click looks like. It's not too extreme of a click, so that's okay. We can just blend it in a bit more, maybe. Might be good to counter that click to have it like go down. Not to all the way to the sub, but basically very close to it. A bit more mono towards the end as well. Maybe we even go all the way down. This might be... Is there already an EQ before that, like this one? Ah. Obviously we want to remove that from there. And going back into the reverb, can give it more reverb towards here so that it nicely covers up this whole area there. Just have one more listen and see if this can be checked off from our list. I like the kick. I think the bass should follow the same kind of bassiness, right, from here. So this should follow the same automation. So we just copy this over, this shape. Just goes down a bit more. Having some trouble. Seem to not have liked me selecting another point there. I'm scared to click. Because I'm scared then it's going to completely crash. Sometimes Ableton just does that kind of issues that you have when you're working with an Becomes more prominent. Just adding a note there that I might want to add. A clap, I wanted to get a little bit of impact on the 39 here, because now the kick starts. We could just do it like this, and then I would just quickly remove all of these automations to keep it clean. There's a lot happening in this track, in this like audio track, for this kick to do what it's doing. So now we would have that impact, but instead of using an actual impact sample, yeah, we'll just use the kick. That is okay. Hello Steels, how are you doing? Welcome. Yeah, let's check the kick and bass. As I said, I'm going to quickly listen to it on speakers. So I'll quickly mute my microphone. I want to get a hotkey for that, kind of like how Dash does it, so that I don't have to use my headphones and I can just switch between like microphone and listening to it on speakers. But for now, I just need to go to OBS. Oh, okay. Apparently I did not myself. Strange. Hoping to get a website down soon and start selling samples. Yeah, you should. You should, if you're interested in samples and making samples, then it's a good idea to also sell them. Just like I do. Website down below. Is there an echo? Yes, it was because I was playing both the desktop audio and apparently didn't mute my microphone. So it was also catching the speakers. But now that I have my headphones back in and we're just listening to the direct audio, it should be gone. Kick and bass sounds a lot nicer. Should also be a bit cleaner on the transient. It's a bit messy, but that might just be how it displays here. Zooming into it, that looks pretty clean. It's just because the way it displays at very low zooms, right? It doesn't actually display the actual click. Let me close that plugin window. Okay, so now that we have a kick and bass, yeah, bass click is better. Nice. I'm happy that we agree on this. Let's go to the next point. I want to add maybe some sequences to this part. I feel like when we have that cool synth playing, right? This one, the like real psychedelic stuff happening here. It falls a little bit flat after that, like maybe the first 8 bars, because then this synth kind of takes over a bit more. A bit later things, but once I start stopping enough time to release things. Yeah. I know my first few sample packs, the ones, especially the drums one that I did, was a bit rushed. It's still a good sample pack. I'm not unhappy with it, but it's not the best. I could have done definitely better and spent more time on it, polishing up the samples a lot more. But for all of the other packs, I really have taken my time. Like this new one, the Atmosphere pack. You guys have seen me do this. This pack is huge. We spent a lot of time on each sample, actually sound designing it, making it sound nice. But I can definitely hear a difference between the start of the sample pack, like these first samples I made. Something like this. Like that's a lot more basic than the stuff that we have here, right? So this is like all automated and stuff. It's a lot more interest. Not that the A sharp part is not good, it's just that once you get into making 170 samples, by the end you're gonna get better at making samples. My approach since the beginning did not change. Yes. Being open to learn from everyone. Indeed, yes, that's important. We could do some cool things with that. I have a video in the works where I show some cool sound design techniques with these samples. If you haven't checked it out yet, the link was broken for the free sample pack, but now if you go to the demo, it should be working. So if you want to experiment at least with part of the sample pack, then the free sample pack is available, the free demo that I like to give out. It's like 22 of them. Cool stuff like that. I need to check the key for this track. So this is A sharp. We can do something with that. We have a folder for that. Yeah, looking for something with a lot of interest like this. can for sure do something and share on Discord. Yeah, that would be nice. I should have tagged, there should still be a sound design request, by the way. From the 24th, curious how that lead at 2.00 is done. And Amrad, I don't know if you're here. If you are here, we'll do it maybe at the end of the stream. And then we can maybe do some feedback, stuff like that. If you're making something and sharing it on Discord, we can, towards the end of the stream, do some different things instead of the production. But I want to just start off with some production and get some creative ideas out there. So for this, what I like to do is load it up into a sampler, turn on loop, turn off snap, and then you set a very short length, usually like 0.05 or something, like very short for because these samples are very long, right? It's 12.8 megabytes, which equates to 4 sections of 4 bars plus a bit. So 8, 16. If we unwarp it, it should be, yeah, 22 bars, right? Yes. So that's a long sample. So you need a very short time for the loop if you want to generate tones from it. And now I set fade to 100, and then by playing it, by setting starting point differently, you need to tune it a bit. Let's see if it's playing the right key. So I'm now playing a C. We're getting an A. So I want to +3 that. So when I play a C, it actually comes out as a C. And then I can just play an A sharp, give it a bit of attack so it doesn't click. And then to get a cool synth sound out of this, after some processing, but the important thing that we now do is introduce some randomness in it. I'm going to map this LFO to the starting position. I don't want this last portion here, so I'm going to turn this down so that it hits basically just over this peak here, what I'm looking for. And we set this to a rate 1/16. And we go to random. And now we should have a nice ever-changing synth sound. Which is a nice starting point. It's lacking a lot of high end and it has a lot of lows. So with an OTT we bring out all of the frequencies. Make it nice and crispy. And then we throw on a delay. Nice little echo. And here we are. Sounds nice. And just kind of play with that. Maybe play it right there. It sounds a bit out of sync to me. Might be some weird plugin compensation, so I'm just going to wait. I'll be right back. I'm gonna walk your dog. Okay, nice. I'll see you in a bit. Take care of him. Give him a nice treat. Yeah, we'll freeze it. Make sure that the timing is correct. It might just be me, or because of the playback. If you play it back with a lot of other instruments, then Ableton might not like that, and therefore it cannot keep up with that synth or something. But it just sounded out of time for me. Yeah, you can see how the different sounds are not in time, right? Like it's being compensated poorly. So we just shift this. Can we calculate how long that is? This would be a few milliseconds, 26. So it will be 26 milliseconds. If I now set this, this should be. Okay, so now we can Control Z all of this. And I do want to keep the random aspect of it. So we just set this to 26. In theory, that should now be compensated for. I did have maybe an issue with the low pass, high pass on the bass. Whenever I freeze something in this project, my bass line gets high passed, which is annoying. I'm gonna push it a little bit into a saturator, give it a bit more power. And then we just go.
You may be having this person waiting.
Not sure about this long sweep. I had it here before, but I might not keep that there. I feel like the delay is a bit unclear on this one. I'm just gonna go like this, yeah, just a bit more. There was an idea that the lead came in a little bit too strongly, so I can give this like a boost of 2 decibels maybe here, and then it will be a bit more announced. set this to -16. Just to announce it a bit more, I want to kind of high pass it in. Almost like a transition, like this. Just a tad bit, maybe to like 5K or something. Maybe even that it's too much. Just kind of comes in and starts the rhythm already. Thank you, MindB. The drums, for me, especially here, kind of lack a bit of power. There's some cool things going on in there, like I think this loop here. I don't know if I want to keep that because it's a bit, how would I say, it doesn't really have punch in it, right? So we can try to experiment with replacing all of the drums. I'm just going to do that by adding new drums under it. So basically group this and I'll kind of get the same processing on there. We'll do that later. Please set it to like the same volume for now, so we have a nice baseline to start with. And I'm just going to go through samples. Get myself like a hi-hat and a clap, and then we should be okay. You want to go for like a classical psytrance kind of hat that we're all familiar with. Just a offbeat hat like this, maybe. For now, we'll just make a loop here and listen to that. I do sometimes like the regular airy claps for psytrance, like stuff like this maybe. You get this, remove some of that extended reverb, and then just like nicely fade it out. Might not be the best. I might just go for psytrance snare from this pack here. Let's go to drums, snares. See if we can find something. This might have the power we want. Slightly off time there. That should be For these noisy kind of things, I like them to be nice and crispy. And what you can do is with a frequency shifter, just shift them up a bit. A bit of overdrive. Sounds like this. I also like to define it a little bit more high-endy. Nice and crispy. And remove some of the lower frequencies. Not too much, not make it unnatural sounding, but just a bit. The lead itself might be a bit too loud at this point. Just have everything down a bit. Just so. Have a look here, if it's not too high-endy. Now the only thing we need to do is make sure that the fast hi-hat is in there as well. Something like this. Maybe this one. We can get them maybe both in here. Let's have a listen to this. Yeah, just to make sure that the clip is in there. Now we can add our snare in here. Well, delete this one, and then we'll take it here. Probably like this. Let's have a listen to what that sounds like. So for that, the snare is too long for this section. It works in the other section, but here we just need to shave a lot of it. So you get that snappier sound here, because we don't have all of the other drums and the leads and stuff in there. It's nicer sounding to have it like snap a bit more, give it a bit more punch. Might even need to do that here. I might not want to slightly introduce these hi-hats. So with a little bit of a volume automation of a few decibels, it should be okay. Just like this. They just kind of come in more. Thank you. Really certain we can delete this. We don't really need that. Save ourselves a bit of CPU.
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
The problem was not the physical.
The kick here is a sample. I cannot see the original anymore because I processed it so many times and re-recorded it that it became this. It looks a little bit unclean to me here. If it's clean on your system, then that's okay, but we can maybe... Yeah, you can see how there's a little bit of a wiggle in there. We can try to fix that. Let's do that. I should have a project in here. Yeah, clean kick project. And just drag that in here. We take our kick, throw that in this track. And then we should be able to record all of the elements. There's a method to just completely, yes, like that, removing the project bar up there. It sounds good. Yes. Yeah, the only thing, as you can see, there's a little bit of a rumble going into it. So I want to just slightly clean it up at the start there. Make sure that it's completely at 0 at the end of the sub, because this is just coming from like all of the processing. We'll neatly go between this and that. And then here, the top end looks pretty clean. There's no issues there. So we should be able to re-record this into a final kick, and then that should be fixed. Now obviously it's going to distort because it's going to sum all of those kicks together. It's losing a little bit of power in this region there, where the sub comes in. We can have it a little bit more in there, have it like some like this maybe. Have a listen, see if that's better. It's a little bit better. It's still kind of right here. You can manually fix that with like an audio boost to this area a little bit. And then we fade this fairly shortly. And then just this. Make that a longer fade. Yeah, now you can see our waveform is looking a lot better. It should also sound a bit more punchier. I don't know which one I like more. This sounds boxy and in your face, whereas this sounds a little bit deeper. I'll have to check it with the base. Or, yeah, with the base. I'll make this a long sample. And then I'm going to replace it, see if that's better. Go in here, and then we should have somewhere a consolidated kick. Final kick being here. This one. So there's a bit of processing on that. We don't need this anymore. Why is this automated? Ah, that's just here. That's not here. It's to have this part of the drop a little bit less clean, basically. Or a little bit less transient in there. Should probably turn that automation on earlier so it doesn't snap. Like that. Otherwise it messes up the transient if you have the automation switch right there. Sounds good here.
It's not the physical
Wow.
problem.
It's maybe a little lacking in transient here. We could give it a bit more click right there. Just like this. Ever so slightly move the energy of the kick up a bit. And then we obviously remove that in this section. I think I have it so that that other EQ turns on here. We might not want that. We might want this EQ turned off for the rest of the.
The anguish of the soul, you know, you read about the Black Night of the Soul. It was like that.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm making this orange. I'm just listening to it now. It's probably good enough now that we've turned up this lead as well. In fact, I want this sequence a little bit lower.
You may be having a spiritual awakening.
Yeah, I want to add some noise. See, nice shorter riser. Something like that. And we'll just have the last bit of it. Make sure that the warp is off. And we'll just kind of like fade it in like this. It's from an upcoming sample pack. I can try something here. If it is unwarped now, if I tune it up one, going to half the time. Going to sound a bit brighter overall. Can I see this live after? And yes, it will just be on my channel, the playlist. But we've only got started. It's been an hour. I'm planning on doing 2 more hours, 2.5 maybe. Still a lot of time.
This is our show where we explore
Okay, here's the
every
same one
aspect
here
of
as
what
well.
it means to be human.
Then just make sure that here we cut it off because we have that cool effect there.
This is our show
Clap.
where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
The problem was
I want to add a bit of extra noise to this as well, to this build. So I'm going to look for nice. That's a nice one, like this. It's kind of rising into that. I'll go for like -27 on that one and just mix it in.
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
the problem
Maybe an
was
acid
not
seed.
the physical.
Rise
The
up this
problem
moment.
was
What we could do, maybe not an acid, but like this. I'll try to experiment with this. Because it's still lacking a little bit of power. I do agree with that. But we can go and create a lead like, or not really a lead, but maybe like an effect like this. Where it just kind of goes up. And then we create just a single note instead of like a sequence or anything. Usually an acid sound is like a sequence. I'm thinking more something like this, obviously with the volume. Coming in like that. And we'll distort it towards the end. Bit of a delay in there as well. And some reverb. Make sure that those are completely turned off, because we don't want it to overlap with this clap here. You can see basically all of the elements stop one beat before that. Simple 3-step sequence. Yeah, I do want to have it rise continuously. I'm not thinking like a sequence. I'm thinking more just a single note like this. We'll mix this in and see if that's what I want.
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
Lacking a bit of power here. I don't want my output to be completely at 0 here, so that my mix actually indicates.
We explore every aspect of what it means to be human. This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
Adds a little bit. Maybe a bit too
the
much.
problem was not the physical. The problem was like a spiritual crisis. The spiritual.
can add a bit of transient to this by using LFO tool. Because this is a 16 note rhythm, I can just set this to 16 notes and just give it more transient from there. Bit too loud now, but it should at least have a bit more power.
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
It's kind of cool. Takes it over a bit, but it keeps the rhythm in there, which I like.
The problem was like a spiritual crisis.
So build stronger is
Spiritual crisis.
done. I want to make this bass a bit more interesting, but do that with a stereo layer, which I like to do 1 octave up and then random bass. Maybe not the 1 octave up, but we'll see. And then we just dial in our shape. Maybe a bit more open like this. Then goes to there. And then we need to make it stereo. What note am I playing now? Is this a 0 or? Okay, so that's a -1. If I want to play the normal note like the idea that I had, it would be like this. We can do it on like only the first beat, basically. Get something like this, like an alternative.
The problem was not the physical. The problem was like a spiritual
That might be
crisis.
cool.
A spiritual crisis. I can't really describe the angle. I can't really describe the anguish of the soul. You know, when you read about the Black Magnet soul, it was like that. I can't really describe the anguish of the soul. You know, when you read about the Black Magnet soul,
Just experimenting with a few
it
different
was like
levels,
that.
seeing what works. I think that's okay.
I can't really describe the anguish of the soul. You know, when you read about the Black Magnet soul, it was like.
I think I want this to be a bit more stereo, even the main bass. It would be a good contrast, I think, between having the main bass a bit stereo. Maybe with stereo expander. I think this turns mono into stereo as well. Right? No. This only works on stereo sounds, I think. I hate how it clicks towards the end. Do you hear the clicking that you get from that? It might be in the original sample, it's just being brought out more by the stereo generator. Another way we can do it is with dimension expander. Add a unison voice maybe. Yeah, that we cannot really do that because this is audio. I cannot go back in there and re-synthesize it. Let's go into stereo processor. Add the stereo serum bass. Maybe this one. Yes, that could be okay. Let's duplicate this. There's no modulation, so that's okay. And I will do 2 more. I have only one. No, there's 3 sounds making up this bass line. You have the main bass here, this thing. And then there's the stereo plug that were just made. And then there's this thing, which is this distorted sounding thing. It goes through the tube. Together. We should actually group this all together and just treat it as one bass line. We can put some of the processing on here. So the stereo processor, that might be better suited on all of them together. Something like this maybe.
We explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
The problem was not the physical.
Makes it sound a bit bigger. I do like it.
Like a
It sounds
spiritual
now.
crisis sound. A spiritual crisis. I can't really describe it. The anguish of the soul, you read about the Black Magnet soul. It was like that. It was like that. It was like that. It was like that.
Let's see the group name here. 53, sorry. Put that as a group. And then we have it go into size scope as a sidechain input to 7 and 8. And then to in. And now we have our second baseline in here. We can see how it stacks up. It's
The
too
problem
loud.
was not the physical. The problem was
Why is that so loud?
screwed
Yeah,
up
when you control
spiritual crisis energy. The spiritual crisis.
to -10. Now obviously the balance is set way off. I guess
And I
it's okay.
can't really describe it. The anguish of the soul, you know, when you read about the black night of the soul. It was like that.
Seems nice and clean, I'd say.
Let's do think. That's the human condition.
Mainly more prominent. It's already pretty prominent. I don't know why I wrote that. Maybe can define its high end a bit. I guess that doesn't matter. That automation isn't in use anymore. Yeah, so I can turn that down a bit and then
It was like that.
we can have like a sequence under this. Maybe as an idea. Just like a very subtle background sequence. Maybe even an acid-like sound. We'll set this to envelope. I'll set it to 8 notes actually, because I have an idea. And just a bit of extra resonance when it plays. And I want one more in there. What I like to do for saw waves, if I'm layering one saw wave on another and this one is an octave higher, I like to set the phase difference to 90 degrees. Gets you cool sounds like this. Kind of want to just have this play one note and then just be a rhythmic element to it. Obviously it's too loud now, but kind of what I want. In terms of the rhythm, it's cool, I'd say. Add a bit of automation to this so we can have it like open up like this. can add one of my atmospheres in here. This is the cool thing about making your own sample packs. Now that I've said, okay, I want an atmosphere there, just like before with the risers, you just drag it in and it's done. Same here. Go to A sharp. Say, what do I want? Something a bit darker, maybe. Something like this. We'll unwarp it. And for this one, I'm going to add a bit of a fade. Not like that. Here we have the vocal, so I don't want it to be too present. Something like this.
I can't really describe it. The anguish of the soul, you know, when you read about the Black Pendant Soul. It was like that.
Just adds a bit of detail to it.
Lost in space. That's the human condition.
How long I've been streaming? 1.5 hours. I'm gonna take a quick break, I think, and then we'll do another 1.5, 2 hours of streaming. Yeah, after the break, we're gonna work on this break, funnily enough, and then we might develop the rest of the drop as well, just like the drums for it. I think that's where we'll get. Not going to be able to find vocals for this break now, but I do want some vocals in there maybe, because it's a little bit lacking. That's strange. Let me just quickly check. This one. See if that helps. It might not. Lower, like this. I should be back. Yeah. Opening up the windows made me come back. I sometimes just have my internet just drops out for like 10 to 20 seconds. It's very annoying. Like when I'm downloading a large file or something, the file will fail just because the internet comes on or goes off 10 seconds and then it comes back on. And even with like the streaming stuff, you obviously don't want that to happen, because then now you're getting errors here. But I should be back. For now, I'm going to quickly take a break, 5 to 10 minutes. I'll play you guys a nice song. I'll play you the song that we've worked on in the last stream. Here it is. It was 61. It's a long one. 200 megabytes. Let's see how long this is. Yeah, this is 9 minutes, something like that. Yeah, exactly 9 minutes. Should not be warped. Okay. I'll have you listen to this. If there's at any point feedback that you want to give me, then feel free to put it in the chat. I'll be watching it, and once I get back, I'll just note it and see what you guys write down. For now, I'm taking a quick break, and I'll be right back. There.
our imagination.
Experts have been wrong on the feasibility of air travel, space travel, even plane travel.
Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time going slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time going slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time going slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time going slower.
Time travel.
really captures our imagination.
I hope you enjoyed this.
Time goes forward.
Nice. Here we are, back in our own track. We're gonna be working on the break, as I said. And what I probably want is some rhythmic ideas, as well as some atmospheres added to that. I think I have a few atmospheres in here that already have a rhythm. I don't know if it's in A sharp though, so we might need to find some of them. Just kind of looking at the waveform. You can also make one. Let's make something for this, because it might be better to do that. So here I'm just gonna go basically starting from maybe here. Nice. Nicely floats in there. So I feel like this needs to be more of a background element now listening back to it. There's some cars passing by. I hope that my microphone doesn't pick that up. Just a little bit of stereo spread. Put it in the background a bit nicer. And then some reverb maybe. Yeah, here it becomes very dull, the break. So I'm thinking of adding another just filtered saw wave, and then we'll make that rhythmical with a little bit of a volume modulation on that. And from here we can just go like, I don't know, up, and then let's see where we end up. We should be ending right there. Go down again, and then we slowly rise up again. Now with some volume automation, should get a pretty nice sound out of this. Nice delay on that. Yeah, let's go like this, a little bit lower here. This is another point, and then we'll have it really fade in from the drop. I'm going to freeze and render this right after I make this all the way. We'll just wait for that to load. Discord messages here. I don't know, did it make the announcement? I didn't make it as an announcement, but I think it posted as a video already. Yeah, Sunday afternoon production time, my stream. I forgot to do that, to post it, the announcement in Discord, but looking at the views, people were able to find it, so that's okay. It's a little bit duller now, a little bit lower my view count because obviously I took my break, and that tends to drive down the view count a bit. But people should come back in usually. That's kind of what happens. Okay, and flatten that, and we want that to finish at drop. I don't want any leaking there. Now we can consolidate it so that we can set it to 0 dB, and then I can mix it in with the mix in here. Allergy season has started. Okay, turn this down. I guess like -17 for now. I think I'll have like a vocal right here in this section. Obviously my bass has issues with me freezing stuff. The automation then just completely goes away.
Lost in time.
Let's expand this so I can also copy over my sidechain trigger. Copy this one over here. Kind of need to see what I want to add now in this section here. Maybe some more of these. You just kind of randomly grab sections like this, maybe. This is 4. We can take that, and then we can just morph between them, hopefully. Like this. Just add some atmosphere in there as well. Okay, I need some creativity, some ideas to put in here. So it might be a good idea to do just some sound design. And I'm looking for a lead sound, preferably like a sequence. I might go for something a little bit more on the psychedelic side. You know what we can do? I have Dash's glitches. Dash glitches. What would be his possessive noun? I have his Psytrance, Glitch, Psytrance Essentials Volume 1, and also for some reason some future rhythm. I don't know why. We could try some leads of this, see if we can get something that fits. Just kind of see if we can find a cool sequence maybe. This might work. We'll have it fade in here and then play here. I guess I can just make bars like this. That should be okay. Let's see what note am I playing now. Start it there. I feel like it's yeah. The key is wrong. We want it to be A sharp, of course. Let's remove the reverb and let's see what. This is really where I want the drums to come in. So we'll directly go to the strong drums, which is this section here. I'm going to reuse So this is on the level. I want to be able to open it up, so I'm going to... Is there a way to rename it? Yes. Level open. It's just a different name so that I know that I modified this. We'll have it open up the... Just kind of functions as like a release tail, right? And then I'm thinking of not going all the way up here, just like this, and then it goes all the way up in this build up section, I guess. Maybe like this. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe in my presets that I have an audio effect rack which does glitching. This is mine, but I believe somebody else sent me one that is based on the beat repeat. I don't know if I have it here or maybe in random music stuff. Patrick, how are you doing? Not there. We'll go glitch track all results. This is my glitch machine, I think. Let me verify that. Yeah. So this is like a repeating one. It's not really what I'm after. It might be this one. I don't know what this is. Glitch machines. I do have the one from what's it called? It might be this one, to be honest. If I put this down here, no, this project file of mine. I believe I had the one from Futurephonics. that not how you spell it? No. Apparently I don't have that anymore. I kind of wanted to do like a repeat every once in a while. We can make our own chain here and just mix between those, and we would just have to set this like this, and then with the mapping set this to 1. So if it's 1, it's going to be dry, I guess. Yeah, and we can just set it to 0 wherever we want the glitch to happen. I'm thinking right here at the start of every second bar, something like this. And just for the drop maybe. Let's set it to gate to make sure that it does trigger. I wonder why it's not. It might be because it doesn't have any input volume. That might be it. In that case, what we would need to do is map these two to the chain selector instead, which is output volume. And we just delete this mapping, have them both play at 1, so they always have input. Please, there we are. And then this goes 0, 0, and minus infinite. We just have this go up every once in a while. We drag on our own delay for this. Have this delay go up in feedback over our little build-up thingy. just boost it up a bit. Reverb tail might be a bit too dark, or the delay here, this bit. I do agree that it's a cool idea with the BTP quantity. Can have it become more stereo here as well. And probably what I'm going to do is have the hats and stuff come in here. Let's remove the clap here, but we basically have then the basically like this. Then once more go back to our main drums. Probably have a bit of an extra fill here. This is where we have some atmospheric sounds and stuff like that. We'll remove our sidechain triggers, obviously. Going to do a little bit of a high pass here. It's a nice point to do it. I have a cool idea as well for like a little bit of a fill thing. I saw Ollie Music posted a video on fills where he experimented with drum racks and automatically making fills. And that's kind of where I want to go with this fill idea as well. I'm gonna get a drum kit in here. I'll create a recording track for this already. I know I'm going to have to record a few passes. Obviously this doesn't show up yet. We need to add an arpeggiator and a drum rack. I'm just gonna find like 20 sounds that I want to have in there, maybe. Some toms. Gonna go here. Maybe more in this region. This one is nice. A little bit of high-end sparkle. I'm a fan of this one as well. Not really this back, probably. Right, maybe this one. Stuff like that with a little bit more bass is also cool. That's very darkish. That's good. The idea is that we're basically randomly going to trigger these. I'll get a few snares. That's a nice one. Vintage drum box stuff, also cool. A little bit of a vintage vibe in there. Bit of noise. I'm gonna go for a kick. Those are not really that great. Yeah, looking for a little bit of like a stompy. It's hard to say which ones will work in the fill for the kicks, I think. Let's go. These all have like a little bit of reverb tail to them. Do you hear how it's like almost like a slap delay? Guess we could try this one. We have 2 kicks now, that's okay. We'll have like a ride, a few of them. At this point the rides are just basically random. Yeah, nice high one. And we'll do another, maybe a bit more electronic. Yeah, something like this. Now they're all set to trigger, which is good. That's what we want. We set this to 16 notes and then random other. And now we need to go in and create our MIDI file. So take this, just place it on every note. You just Ctrl C, Ctrl V it until you have this. Now with a little bit of editing, we can, for example, set this like this. And then I would like to have a way, I think the best idea is just to take an LFO and make it follow the same shape. And I want to do some panning here. So we'll do that after each thing. You do want these to be 99%. I'm gonna set this copy value to siblings. I'm gonna set this to 1/8. Gonna go down to 116, back up again, and down, and then we just have to set this to random, and we map this to our panning, or maybe like 25/75, so it's not all the way hard panned. Something like that, and with a bit of processing we can make it probably sound a bit better, because now it's just all over the place. So first of all, I'm going to squish it all together in here. Gonna saturate it a little bit, get all of the frequencies out, make it sound a little bit distorted, I guess. Maybe that's a bit too much. I do want this to be a gate. And the idea is that by recording these and just seeing how they fit in, we can do some processing. Let's do a little bit of a bandpass filter on this. For Psytrance lead sounds, I do like to do that. So go like this, just have it go down. Maybe that's a bit too much resonance, but you get the idea. And then finally I want to EQ some stuff out. I'll probably put this in here so we get a little bit of that extra boost. Okay, let's record this, see what we get. This might work, this might not work. If it doesn't work, we can always re-record it. Let's see. Obviously right now with all of the other stuff missing, it's going to sound a little bit empty. But the idea is there. Set this to -12. Here. But this was basically the idea. I'm gonna save this track. Gonna make a folder for this. Drum fill generator 1. I think I'll make a few of these, and then it might be good to have a bunch of these projects. Why does it make a new one? Oh, it needs to refresh, yeah. I'll make like 5 and 5, and then I can turn those into samples and sample packs with a bit of processing and stuff like that. We should be able to get some cool fills out of that, and that might be an idea for a sample pack. see how loud this gets here. Might be a bit too loud for this section. We'll just have to go down in volume a bit so that the other elements come in a bit more. Have the drum riser. Basically copying over all of the stuff from one of the build-ups to the other. I might actually do keep everything on one thing before it, even though we're going to a different drop, right? We can have this before here and then do some crazy thing with this lead there. So to do that, I am going to freeze this so that I can work with it. In that case, just let me quickly group this. It's probably useful that I have the delay still as a preset or not burned into whatever I'm working on. So I'm just going to freeze it without that. We'll just have to wait for it to freeze. And my idea is to pitch it up with beat repeat and then pitch it down again with Complex Pro in terms of warping modes. That gives some crazy effect sounds basically. We'll also be able to see if what we're doing with the volume makes sense. I wanted to get out of the way of all of the other elements a little bit. And we'll flatten it. It seems to already have a bit of a delay in there. It's a lot of high-end mainly here. Let's go into my audio effects and get rid of some of that high-end. The idea was to do something like this. it's this, but there's still a little bit of might be the snares that continue. Yeah. We need to just have those completely turn off here. Plus the reverb. See our kick, that should be okay. Just looking if there's any reverb on any of these elements or delay that I need to turn off. Yes, there's this one and this one, so I have that sound come through as clean as possible, basically. And now because it's so high, I want to turn it back down again. Let's have that fade out. And I want to add another lead on top of that. I'm very much in a creative mode right now, so that's fun. I have some cool ideas here. We'll create a basic shapes, and I want a triangle. And now the idea is that we have like a something like this, but we'll have it filter in and then with tons of reverb on it or delay. Thinking maybe even a double delay. We'll set this to 50, no feedback, and then note. Have it like filter in like this. Maybe an octave lower. I guess this is the best one. Some dimension, some erosion for some nice high end. Also have this fade in. Might be better to have that on the off part here. And then this there. There seems to be a little bit of stuff down here. That might be reflections on my closet.
You may have this. You may have a spiritual awakening. You may have a spiritual awakening. You may have a spiritual awakening. You may have a spiritual awakening.
Strange that that's so late. Sounds like it's like pausing in between.
You may have a spiritual awakening.
That would also explain why it doesn't sound like it's on time in the other one. I never really noticed it though. It just kind of felt cramped. But it might be that M transformer is like significantly delaying it without it being compensated for correctly. I'm quickly just going to lower my window because I want to know if it's my camera doing that. Yeah, no, it seems to be a light issue, so that's fixed now. The little dot that was like down here, like this, I was worried that it was already my new camera being broken. But that's not the case. So we're good. Let's give this some time to freeze. It's gonna take a long time because M Transformer is a very heavy plugin. I've been live for 2.5 hours. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna take, I think, another quick break in a bit. And first I want to see this timing thing. And then I'll do maybe another hour or something. Yeah, do you see how it's like delayed now? Okay, so I want to go back. I want to get this delay so that I have a clean version of this just going through the processing. This is the way to do it if you want to keep some of the processing after fading or after freezing. Throw it on the group, and now you can freeze and flatten it. Hopefully this goes a little bit faster now. Yeah, seems to be. I have another notification. This might be Sharon Grazzini. I have a Mark Rober, Mr. Ballen, Holy Music, whole bunch of YouTubers are either live streaming or uploading content that I like. I do want to quickly shout out this channel. Let me just get it. Shannon Graziani. Shannon Graziani Music. This guy has 440 subscribers, but he does a lot of cool long format tutorials. Like each of his videos is an hour long. So I know there's few viewers in here, but I do want to have this on the record. This is a channel that I found. I'm subscribed on my phone, not here. But from now on, I'm also subscribed here. This should now also show up in the people that I'm subscribed to. Go show him some love. If you're coming from me, let him know. It's cool to be able to give that back to... Wait, I also don't want the sidechain, of course. Yeah, the sidechain is enabled. Sorry for that. Remembering how I felt first starting off and getting like my first shout out from Dash Glitch and some other YouTubers as well, I think mainly Dash Glitch, that's the one that I remember the most, because that's a day where I almost got 100 subscribers in a day. So that was a huge shout out for me at the time, because at the time I had like 300 subscribers. I was like in the same boat as this guy. And now I am at 5,200 subscribers. So I'm hoping that through me showing off these channels, I can do the same thing what others did for me. So that's just a little thing that I found. I was reminded of it seeing the notification on my phone pop up. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out, use my platform to help others. And he makes great content, long format, which I really like. So yeah, quickly, while we're waiting for this track to freeze. Okay, now let's put this in time. Need some time to render the waveform. There we go. Just looking at the timing, it might be like this.
You may be having a spiritual awakening. You may be having a spiritual awakening. You may be having a spiritual awakening.
I need to fix my bass again. There we are. This also explains why this one is out of time sounding for me. This should now also be fixed.
You may be having a spiritual awakening.
That sounds a lot better. I never really realized that it was out of time like that. Now that I heard it isolated basically,
You may be having a spiritual awakening.
that makes a lot more sense. Delete group. No longer needed. be able to see the beat repeat, right? Yeah. Maybe have a little bit more. If this goes down a bit more. See if I can find another good riser for this. Give it a bit more mid-range power there. Let's see, atmospheres. I want to go position material. I have a hatred for most psytrance, but this bobs very hard. Nice. Glad that you enjoy it. How come the hatred for the psytrance though? This might be exactly what I need. I guess I can just do like this. So that it rises exactly to A sharp and not right below it. I think that's better. That works. I like that riser. Have it a bit louder in there as usual.
You may have a spiritual awakening.
I don't think I want the rising in effect here. Just have the vocal come in.
You may have a
They also
spiritual
loaded the
awakening.
speaker system and it sounds terrible. Yeah, the mono speaker system is just to prevent phase cancellation issues. It's really hard to get a solid concrete box to have a bass sound work everywhere. Hence the modeling helps in that regard. It's either that or there's just going to be places where there's like no bass line and stuff. And they're not going to like sound treat the club. Also, psytrance is really for the outside. So you should go to raves outside to like get, because that's really, I'm not saying that's like the right way to do it or a wrong way to do it, because we have access to what we have access to. You might not be able to find raves in your area, but ideally psytrance music should be listened to outside. And therefore a lot of the producers that make psytrance are gonna make it with the idea of, you know, it being played outside on a big festival, not inside in a club. That's just kind of how it works. So you're going to get not ideal sounding bass sounds from that, just because you know, it's not made for a club area. It sounds so different in the forest. It's everything. It's also the ambience and just the whole vibe of a club sound, right? A club, it feels a lot more closed. So not just the sound itself, but the whole ambience that it creates. The whole show is an experience. It's not just about the music, I should say. Let's have this go. Down by a lot. yeah, the harmonics are going to sound a lot more like, you know, because of the, as I said, the phase cancellation and all the echoing issues and the reverb, it's going to sound a lot like noise. But that's not specific to psytrance. That's just going to happen to any, especially like bass heavy sound, even like dubstep and stuff like that. If you ever listen to dubstep in a club or just normal EDM, it's going to have that same issue, depending on how much bass there is actually in there. Now, psytrance is unique in the sense that it has a sub everywhere. Like if you look right here, there's sub, and then here there's two more flops of sub bass. Normally what you would see for like dubstep is that you would have a very small kick like this, and then the sub comes in here, sidechained, right? And there's this area where there is no sub bass, and then it might be like a wobble, so it starts to come in here, and then here it's very loud, and then it goes down here again, and then here you have your snare, so no sub bass again. So phase cancellation also happens due to the reverberation of the room. Kind of. What the reverberation does is it changes some of the frequencies. Like, I can show that with a quick demo. If I go and create a MIDI track and just play a sine wave. It's correlated. It's not it's not like the reverb causes it. But if I want an EQ, I can show you the spectrum and the reverb. If I turn this off, you can see this is just like a normal sine wave. If I play this, play it nicely there. If I add some reverb, you see how there's a lot more stuff happening now. So there's some noise in there. That's going to add up with, like, if you're actually in a room, then that's going to add up, right? So let's say that the reverb is fairly big, and here we're going to go for big spaces, arena hall 20, something like this. You can see this whole mess. Sorry, I'll turn that off. So it does increase the problem, the reverb, but it's not like one is causing it. The phase cancellation is already there even without the reverb. What is there to do about this? You could treat the room, theoretically, but for a club room, it would be very expensive, and I don't think people care too much. Like, people aren't going to a club to get high audio quality. They go to a club to dance, and as long as the sub bass comes through and you can hear somehow what is going on, then that's okay. That's also why a club is so loud that it's like pumping the speakers, right? So you could invest in proper sound treatment, and then you could just fix the problem to an extent. The louder the speakers are, the more fixes that you would need. So you would need very big amounts of foam and stuff like that, and there's no return on investment on that. Nobody's going to go to one club over the other because the music sounds nicer there. And it also depends on the club. Like, if it's a concrete box, then it's at least a little bit better than, for example, one made out of glass, right? Because glass reflects even more stuff. At least as far as I know. I'm not an expert in this field. I'm just talking about what other people have said to me. Thank you. Glad that you find it enjoyable. I'm going to put again all of these here so we have it nice. Okay, I want to take a quick break. I'm gonna put on a bit of a longer track because I want to get something to eat. Make me some quick snacks, see if I can find something that I've laying around the house. So I'll put on this long track, which you guys really like. I know it because I put it on a lot myself as well. I really like it as well. And it's a common favorite as a break track for you guys. So a quick break, and then I'll be right back.
It could be that the Big Bang was an interesting event, but not the first event in the totality of reality. It could have been the first event that sparked the expansion of our part of space. But it could be that there's a grander realm of space within which we sit as a small part, and that grander realm may have been there for a far longer period of time. It may have experienced its own Big Bangs, maybe a collection of Big Bangs that may extend infinitely far into the past.
This is one of these interesting topics where a lot of times people ask me if I believe the Big Bang Theory. Instead of saying that I believe them, we have overwhelming evidence that the universe was once very small and very hot. That much is absolutely true.
so that so I have something to eat. I'm getting a bit hungry, so I feel like I need something. I hope you enjoyed that. And a little preview of what music I have coming. Let's get back into this project though. What we basically need to do to finish this track. Obviously there's going to be a lot of detail work, stuff like that. But I want to work on the leads for this section. Or basically this section. This is the outro, so there's no leads in here. Usually. But I think here we've already got it pretty full of stuff. Let me check again. What we can do is add this. If I go like this, yeah, that will turn everything on. And we can place this in here as well, just to get a nice base. At least we have some sound then. But we need more. There then. I might just go, to be quite honest, take this in here. Take this there. This one as well. I feel like it's maybe a little bit loud. I need to check it here though. Because it also has to deal with this. Let's have a listen to this, how this would sound. Zero that for now, so that thinking of doing it like this, duplicating each second basically. And for this we will need to go and fade here. And I also want this here. Hello Dash, how are you doing? Nice to see you. I have a cool sound for you that you might recognize. might recognize that from somewhere. At least I hope you do. Otherwise it would be not too good, to be honest. For anyone wondering, it is his sound. He made that as a preset for his Vital Pack, which you can probably find on his website. Just saying. Let's put down the delay. Did you experiment or play or get the Atmosphere pack already? It's one of the Seeks from Volume 3. Yes, indeed. Let's turn this on here. We'll add a little bit of delay going out. That's pretty cool how the delay takes over with the 70% wet. I hope, just let me know that the code works, because I had a few problems with the promo code. So if that works now, then everything should be okay. I think I got a message from Ollie saying that it works. Yeah, it should be working. So you should be able to get it. Riser is a bit too dominant. Might also turn this down an octave. And then we can distort it a bit to get some of those higher frequencies back. What is causing that clicking? Oh, that's this. I don't know if I like that on top of it. Maybe without it it's better. That sounds more like it.
You may find a spiritual awakening.
Just to see what... Okay, so this is a pad. I'm looking if I have some more vocals than just the 3 that I have here. What is this? This is the...
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
This is pretty cool. Might be a thing to also paste in this build-up, although then we have it twice in the same idea. We could put it here and then just keep the delay in there. Although it might not come through with that lead playing. Let's see.
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
Yeah, it has some trouble getting through there. I might be able to fix it just by using it a little bit here.
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
With a little dip in that lower frequency range.
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
To make some more space, we can add a high pass filter to this whole stuff.
You may find a spiritual awakening.
And a little fill element here. Basically. Same here.
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
That works. I'm not 100% satisfied with the build-up itself. I always have issues with getting the power that I want from a build. Something that I struggle with quite a lot actually in my productions, I feel like. We might pay some more attention to this. I might leave it for now and come back to it later with some new inspiration. I'm also not a fan of how I doubled this synth playing, so I'm going to restore it like how it was. We'll keep our nice reverb Why does that delay out so much? Might be this one. Now it should go to silence. Yes. These are the bells, right? Or is that in this one? Might be here, those bell sounds. Yeah. Okay, we'll leave that alone then. I want some of those in here. That special here because this is just the outro, so it doesn't really matter too much. Why is this? Why is that turned off? That's strange. When is my school starting in Milan? I've already started. I've started since the end of January, beginning of Feb. No, not really. The end of February, 23rd of February was my starting date. So I'm already doing school stuff, basically. That's also the reason why there's less content from me, like less videos, fewer streams as well than I would want to do, because I have school there and stuff like that. I'm gonna have a final listen, and if I notice anything in particular that sounds off to me, then I'm going to fix that, and otherwise I think I'll call it here for today. In terms of the stream length. The only thing I would say maybe is using this sound more in the second part. We can maybe add one with that fill, which should be right there.
You may be having a spiritual awakening.
Basically like this. specific.
Show where we explore
I don't
every
know about
aspect
any
of what it means to be human.
Discord thing. I don't in this project. I don't think so. I do remember having that project a while back where there was one, which was kind of funny. In the vocal. Let's go through the vocals.
Lost in thought. That's the human condition.
No.
You may be having a spiritual awakening.
No.
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
No.
The problem was not the physical. The problem was like a spiritual crisis I went through. A spiritual crisis.
Doesn't seem to be.
I can't really describe it. The anguish of the soul, you know, you read about the black night of the soul. It was like that.
I think it's the word lost. Ah, okay. Yeah. I do remember, now that you bring up the Discord ping, a while back we did that loop one. I don't know if it's still in the project. But I did... You guys remember that I did a stream where I turned a loop into a song to basically show you how you would go about doing that? I do think at some point I'll scrub through that stream, because that was a pretty funny moment when we discovered that not only did we record at some point a Discord ping into it, I don't even remember how, but it fitted perfectly with the rhythm of the track. I think I was about here with my listening session.
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
I'm really happy with how this new bass turned out. The stereo thing.
Like a spiritual crisis I went through. A spiritual crisis. I can't really describe it. The anguish of the soul, you know, you read about the black night.
It was like at the end of a fill,
It was like that.
like if you had a fill like this, it was like right at the end, almost like this sidechain trigger, which by the way shouldn't be there.
Lost in thought. That's the human condition.
It's pretty good how it's all lined up with like the rest of the track as well. Yeah, this break, more interest still needs to be done, so I'll make that red, if I remember. You cannot really read it when it's red. Like that's okay. Here I'm gonna get a vocal that sits in this break. Just needs to find something that fits there.
Lost in thought.
Never really used that, to be honest. That synth works really nice there with the fill. It was a good addition. Might leave this out here, so it's just the delay from this one. And I'm going to up this slightly. You can use it maybe on a lot of things. Yeah, I would see it being used as a nice way to just boost some of the frequencies. It's kind of like any saturator. To be honest, I'm quite happy with the performance of just Ableton Saturator. And I like the way that it clips to 0. So for now I'll stick with that. Yeah, I'll just leave this delay without this thing here. Although this might be nicer if it tails off like that. Yeah, they kind of sit in the same range and the same frequency. So I like that. Okay. For now, everything I wanted to do to this track is done. And just like that other track, I'll leave it be for a couple of weeks and then I'll get back to it, do all of the details, and then it's just mixing and mastering and then it's finished. So that's going to be it for today in terms of the stream. 3.5 hours is a nice time to wrap up. So I'll be leaving and I'm going to edit a video for next week. And other than that, I have some school stuff to attend to. So yeah, this is going to be the stream for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope I inspired you with whatever I did. So yeah, that's going to be it. I don't really have anything else to say. See you guys.